It happens in the lobby, not in your hotel room. So very early in my career, I was 23 years old, working at a big insurance company, and I went to a conference, and I mean, it's easy for me now to mix and mingle in a room, especially because there's so many friends in the room. But I remember I was at that conference, and I was up in my room, and I was like, I don't know anybody here. What am I doing? I was like nervous and anxious and just all kinds of emotions and feelings, and I told myself, I don't even know where the phrase came from, I probably heard it or something somewhere, but I told myself, I'm like, the deal happens in the lobby, not in the hotel room, and I had to like pump myself up, literally, and I was like, all right, we're gonna do this. I straightened my tie, and I went downstairs, and I just like, I call it, then we coined a phrase at one of my startups that it was the grip and grin time. So I was gripping and grinning, I was shaking hands and smiling and just introducing myself to people, and it was a learned behavior for me. It wasn't natural. And so I say all that just to say that if it doesn't feel natural for you, don't feel like all hope's lost. You have to force yourself to, I would literally have to like amp myself up for it, like get ready for the grip and grin. And so yeah, it's some people, I envy people that it just comes naturally. They can go into a room full of strangers and strike up a conversation about baseball or whatever. I've learned it. I wasn't born with it. So if there's the point being, anyone can do it. It just takes a little more effort for some of us. When I was in DC for my meeting, I met with Beth. I had a contingent with me from San Francisco. I said, we're going to go meet my friend, the congressman from El Paso, Texas. And they were like,
who was on this thing?
They were like, we're going to go see a Texan? They were like, you realize we're from San Francisco? I'm like, don't worry, it's going to be fine. And we talked to him a lot about it, and he's not on those subcommittees, so he wasn't really heavily engaged, but I think we were successful in selling him the reason to get engaged, and he's since then sought my counsel on some of those things, and so that's very good. And there's an El Paso San Francisco connection. And I went back and told him, yeah, the San Francisco delegates or whatever, we didn't meet with them, but I met with my buddy from Texas, and he's on board. They're like, they were like, who are you? And what boat did you come on?
That's the network.
Yeah, exactly. That is the network. I mean, Beto and I were competitors at the time. I was building websites and he was building websites, but we were always friends. And later on, he was on council when I was the CIO at the city of El Paso, and again, you never know where people are going or what they're going through.